Good evening. It's your boy T Ruff, and welcome to another exclusive segment of Wiseman TV, the MUA edition. I introduce to you, without any further ado, the lovely Chari Slayz.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of Chari Slayz here on Wiseman TV. This evening, I have the pleasure of interviewing the fabulous Malika. How you doing, Malika?
I'm doing good. Hello, everyone.
Yes. So, this is a little web series that was brought to me by Thomas, and he just wanted to put Boston's talent on the map. And I've seen some of your work since I've been known, since I got in contact with you, and you do very good work. I love your work.
And coming from you, I've seen some of your work too. Yes, and I'm like, yes.
I try. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you just give us a little background of if you have any training, cosmetology or anything like that?
Oh, awesome. So I'm originally, I grew up between here, Massachusetts and the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. So after completing high school, I moved to Florida, and then I came back to Boston, and I went to Blaine's at the time.
Okay.
But at the same time too, I realized that wasn't really my passion. I was only doing it to kind of follow the footsteps of my grandmother, who I grew up seeing her doing hair, makeup, that type of things in the kitchen, and her salon that she worked at. So I moved to New York, and my sister had a salon there. And at her salon, I would kind of just playing makeup. It was always, it was nothing at first. It was always just a hobby for me. So I never went to school and got formally licensed or anything like that. Everything is self-taught. Many years, many crayon faces, but I mean, through it all, eventually, here we are. And I appreciate everybody who came, who took a chance on me along the way too, Yes. So I am where I am now because of, again, just being patient and specializing in perfecting my own craft of the beauty industry, and just marketing and advertising myself as well. So that's what I do.
And what is your take on the makeup industry? As far as social media, influencers,
So right now, I really feel that the market is definitely it's packed right now. It's packed. I think more so now due to the pandemic. People they're actually digging into their bag of talent. You know what I mean? Things that they may not have taken, before for granted, but now they're really digging into their bag of talent and they're using it. The market is definitely oversaturated. I definitely believe so. But at the same time, the business woman in me always remembers that there's more than one brand of bread in the bread aisle. Yes. There is, you have name brand and then you have generic, all being sold in the same store at the same location. So it doesn't mean that you should stop. It doesn't mean that, you should slow down. It just makes me go harder. It makes me go harder. It makes me, I put my best foot forward at everything that I do. Regarding influencers, I kind of I don't want to say that I have a favorite one, and I really don't watch anyone. I don't watch anyone per se on, that level of fall of likes and, their fan base. I kind of just honestly, there's another MUA that I kind of started watching her when she was located here in Boston, Massachusetts. Her name is Poppy MUA. I started watching her and I started, she's local. People, for me, local talent does it for me. People who I see that are around me, people for me, people that I can touch, people that I can reach out to are more so my influencers. Whereas, you know, paying or, you know, that paid promo type of influencer,
Yeah.
I'm not really into that. But again, I always believe that your name will always be spoken in rooms that you haven't entered in.
Yes. Yeah,
So
that's
for
true.
me, that's where my work comes in. My work is the work that I do has always been in rooms that I had never entered until I get there. And then they're like, oh, I needed to contact you, or I was going to contact you, or I saw your work, or somebody referred me, or they highly recommended your work. So for me, like I said, it was another makeup artist here. I kind of started just following her. There's another makeup artist, like I said, just some local, watching everyone locally. And I went to a lot of fashion shows here as well. So again, picking up pieces, picking up things from everybody kind of like had me on the way of not riding the wave, but making sure that the longevity of my wave is more so caught than a millisecond.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about your brand? So I noticed you have your own makeup brand. Or not makeup brand, but lashes.
I do have a brand where I am currently, I just started that during the pandemic, which is Majestic Mink Lashes. And that's Majestic with the K. Everybody already knows me as Majestic Nikki. So it was kind of only formally that I would just roll the carpet out on that. I have a thing where you kind of like, for me, it's all about marketing. And for my market, it was always, my market has always been my brows and my lashes. Everyone would always ask, who did your brows? Where did you get your lashes? So it was only right that I would come out. That would be my next project. And it's also one of my largest selling products brands this year. Is my makeup. I mean, the mink lashes, Majestic Mink Lashes. So for me, my motto is whatever I put on myself, I want my clients to have what I want. I want them to wear what I want, what that I have. I want to give them the quality of what I have. And that's what keeps me afloat. And that's what's been keeping me in business thus far.
Do you think you're planning on expanding your brand, your cosmetic line into cosmetics or makeup?
So that's definitely been in the talks. I actually just recently spoke with someone who's interested in becoming a partner with me in regards to expanding the brand, the makeup brand. Most likely something will be done before the last quarter of the year financially. You know, when you're in business, we talk quarters. We don't talk by the end of the year. We just look at the quarters. So by the end of this fourth quarter, we're definitely going to be bringing out something flavorful and for people to, again, gravitate and to, again, have the best of what I have the best of. I want you all to have the best of. So that's definitely a go for me.
Okay. And I noticed when I first spoke to you, you said you have, you're entrepreneur, you have a lot of little other businesses. So what other businesses do you have?
So Majestic After Dark, which is my beauty. That was my first business. It's the baby. It's the brand. It's not even a brand. It's the LLC. Everything else under that falls under Majestic After Dark. And when I am setting up and traveling to a client's house, I always like to be in a clean space. Like, and even if, and I get it, and this is prior to COVID for me. It's always about cleanliness. If I drop a brush, or if a brush is going to be sitting here, all these things we have to be concerned with as MUAs. So I would always clean the space that I am. And I'm always thankful for my clients who sanitize and still clean, prior to me coming. And that led to a client actually calling me back within like 2 weeks And she said, I'd like to schedule an appointment with you. And I said, you just got your makeup done. Where are you going again? She says, no, I want you to come and clean my house.
Wow. He was very impressed.
And so she was impressed by me cleaning her bathroom, and that led to Majestic Cleaning Services. Okay. So I do have another business, my second business, which is I have a few, but Majestic Cleaning Services was born from that. Okay. And I'm always very thankful to my first client because she referred me, and I have a very long list of clientele, and I appreciate it. I employ a few people of our community, so I'm always thankful for that. And you know, everything always leads to something else. So I always tell people that don't always think that there is a room that you can't leave. You can leave a room and be introduced to another room. I never thought I would have been successful at cleaning houses, but I am. And it does pretty well. So I have a staff, and COVID, it affected everybody. But again, people who clean and people who want to remain clean, that's not a business. It's not a business where I've taken a loss in. And then I also have with Majestic After Dark, Majestic Cleaning Services. I started having my peers, associates, people just being referred to me, asking me, how did I start my business? What to do to start a business? And that's when I have my older brother, he also runs a financial consulting firm of his own. Okay. So we then came, his next suggestion to me was, knowledge is power, but at the same time, you got to make sure that you're being compensated for your time. And that's what also that birthed Majestic Consulting LLC. And then lastly, we have Crown Boutique. And Crown Boutique is a boutique, an online boutique that I have where I sell more accessories, women accessories, men accessories, and things of that sort, but no clothing yet. I'm pretty happy with where we're going in the accessory line with Crown Boutique. So I'm pretty busy, and I have a full-time job.
And no full-time job. Wow.
A full-time mom, full-time wife, full-time employee. So yeah.
Wear a lot of hats.
That's okay.
We are well too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what are your thoughts about makeup trends? What is some of your input on makeup trends?
So with me, I'm big on history, Chari. I'm big on history. I'm big on the culture of our people. I'm big on music history. Like I sit down and I watch documentations from forever. And for me, it's just all a time capsule. The things that we're doing now, we've perfected it. We're here at this point in our generation and in this present time where we have perfected what we saw, what we've seen, down to the hairstyles, the wigs. I was looking at, Tina Turner the other day, and I'm saying to myself, like, she was the Beyonce of her time. And when you really looked at it, again, despite her personal life that she had going on, her makeup was flawless. Yes. Her hair was flawless. Her wigs were flawless. So that was a perfection of her time. Now we're here and we've perfected what we grew up seeing. Yes. You know what I mean? I'm an 80s baby. So I grew up seeing Salt and Pepper, that type of thing, like that type of love, like Mary J. Blige, like that's me. Yeah. I still wear colored hair. People like, they're like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, like, because it's a revolving thing. There's no, for me, people like to coin. They like to coin things like, oh, I brought this out. Yeah. There's no such thing as anything being coined. Honestly, everything has just been improved, but it's been here before. It's been here before.
Yeah.
It's definitely been here before.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun, honestly. And to be honest with you, the only thing I will say that definitely has evolved with, especially the makeup industry, is now everybody's camera ready. We're all camera ready. Before that was the trick. Before we try to figure out how to get our face right, to make sure that we blend right, to make sure our highlight is right. We're all camera ready now. We've perfected the camera ready look as an everyday look. Anything else besides that, I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. We definitely have done though.
Yeah, definitely. What are some of your favorite looks to do?
So my favorite looks are, I love animation. I'm a big fan of animation. And there is, like, I watch animation so much that I can just simply do it and sit there and just see it one time and I can do it. And that just goes back to my love for arts. Even as a child, I love to draw. I went through a situation when I was in high school and I kind of like lost the feeling in my left hand. So I used to shake a lot. You know how when you're young, they tell you it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Not only did it go away, it's my left hand is actually my strong hand. It's my strong side. And I'm a righty. So there's, you know, like I said, I don't believe in there's never can be this, it doesn't exist to me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's animation. Other than that, I enjoy a natural beat. I enjoy colors. Like, I will give anybody what they like, but at the same time, for me, I think like I said, my elevation, my next level is animation and getting out there more with animation of, you know, I want to start doing like some really like grotesque things with faces, but you know, like I said, it's always like the next level
type stuff, special effects type stuff.
Yeah, special effects. Like I said, I kind of could see something one time, I'll figure it out, and then I just go from there. I go from there. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. So I'm actually interested in, like, when outside does get to open back up, I'm going to actually go to a couple of local schools and see if I can volunteer some looks for a theater. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Absolutely.
What tips would you have for any beginners or anybody that wants to get into makeup or start doing makeup?
So my advice would be to make sure that you study tones. Tones are very important. You know, warm tones, neutral tones, cool tones. Those are the things that will always differentiate you from a beginner to a vet or, you know, an advanced makeup artist. Knowing your color schemes, knowing where things go. And again, I learned all this through trial and error myself. And where, like I said, I think I've now mastered it. But again, there are some people, like, you have to be able to know tones. You have to be able to know where to set a color to get a natural, to realize what it is. After that, my second tip would be choosing a line of makeup that works for your different clients. Learning, again, this goes back to learning skin tones, oily skin, dry skin, knowing what's, you know, some people have natural oily skin like myself. I've always had a very oily T-zone. So I've learned my makeup history, where what I can use, what I cannot use, things that are going to have me oily for the night. there's also makeup that makes us perspire. And occasions, you don't want to do someone's makeup, a wedding. You don't want to do someone for a wedding and knowing that you use a dewy spray, finish spray, and then they're going to be sweated out not even by the end of the night, in about an hour after pictures or after the ceremony. So that would be the second thing. And then overall, the third thing is whatever you choose to do, even as a makeup artist or even as an entrepreneur, make sure it's something that you love to do. Yes. Anything that you love to do never feels like work. And when I tell you it doesn't feel like work, it does not feel like work to me. Everything that I do, I love to clean. I love doing makeup. I love selling, my products. I love advertising. I like marketing. So for me, I never get tired. I never feel like I'm exhausted with my business because, again, it's my passion. Do not go into something because someone else is doing it. Do not go into something thinking that, oh, this person's making, hella money. And when you get into it, you're not making that money. And you don't want to get likes confused with deposits. Yes. I tell people that all the time. Like, you can go on my makeup, you can go on my Majestic Mink Lashes page. I don't have a lot of followers, but again, those things that doesn't satisfy me. What satisfies me is my deposits at the end of the week. When Shopify is sending me a payment, you know what I mean? That excites me. That's what keeps me going. And again, it's not even just about it cannot be about the money. Again, it has to be about the passion, what you love.
Yeah, because if you don't love it, true to you, you'll have the support. Absolutely. You have people to back you up.
Absolutely. Another thing is, I can definitely give this as a piece of advice, especially to younger women. There is younger women and women, middle-aged women, older women. There's never a time where you can't start. There really isn't. My grandmother opened a boutique when she was in her 50s. Nobody told her. She was told that her career is over. She doesn't know fashion. She doesn't know style. She opened a whole boutique in a whole different country, flourished, where it's actually still continued. It was, but we sold it, so she sold it out. But again, it continued that somebody else was able to buy it. Yeah. There's really no limit on what you can learn if you choose. If you choose, and again, I have to always reiterate this word, you have to choose it. If you choose to make it your passion, your business, you get up, you eat, you sleep your business, where you then become comfortable that it's actually functioning all on its own without you even there. Let that be your passion. Let that be a drive. Do not learn how to be by yourself. Business is lonely at the top. It's a lonely place, but at the same time, you will encounter people of the same mind, of the same like mind, of the same business mind, of the same entrepreneur mind, the same generational curse, a breakage line. Like, there are people out there that are willing to have conversations with you, but at the same time, you have to be willing to speak and you have to be able to accept what you learn and hear. Absolutely.
Yes. I'm sorry, I just got a message from Thomas. I'm trying to see if we're still live because electricity just went out in his neighborhood. He just sent me a message.
It still says live on Facebook here on my end.
It does. So hopefully we're still live since we're on the link.
Okay, cool.
He said he has no idea. So I guess we're still, I don't know if we're still taping, but I guess we're still going on.
Yeah, we're good.
So, all right. You see it on your end? Is it still rolling or? Okay, so we'll just keep going. Okay. And now you done gave some beginners, as people that want to start makeup, a little advice. What would some essentials be in their makeup kits?
So for a beginner starting makeup, I always highly suggest that you get drugstore makeup. Go to Beauty Supply and you get, make sure you get every shade of concealer. You can actually start your kit under $100. If you are frugal, you can start your kit under $50. You get every tone of concealer. You make sure that you get every tone of pressed powder. Again, as you go on, you will then understand and know your clientele, your, you know, the basis of your clients, things that you can use, what you can and can't use on your clients. Make sure that you have, if anything, you're going to spend a lot of money on brushes. And you're going to spend a lot of money on brushes, especially if you're in the beginning of your career, of your passion for makeup. I buy brushes and I spend a lot of money on brushes, but at the same time, it's like, I can never get enough of them. It's like, oh, I like this one. Like, oh, I like this one. Do not run out and spend a lot of money on brushes. You will then, like I said, you will get to know what is good, what is not good. When you're washing your brushes at the end of the week, you will understand. You owe that chore, right? When you're washing your brushes at the end of the week, you'll know what brand that, you know, the hair, the brush is no good. You'll know what retains, what contains product that's hard to get out. Like I said, you'll learn. It's a trial and error of a lot of things, but for sure, you definitely need to get a neutral. You have to make sure you get a neutral tone palette. If you don't start out with anything else, again, concealer, pressed powder, a neutral tone palette. It does not have to be expensive. It can be, again, just neutral tones, really cheap, brushes, and have fun with it.
Yes, definitely.
Do your friends. If your friends say they like your makeup, invite them over. Tell them, hey, I'm not going to charge you. I just want to do your face. I want to see how I can do on somebody else. Just to try it out. Don't go spending $500, because I'm sure, and this is the businesswoman coming, and you're going to spend $500 and you're never going to see that money back. Now, if you're smart and you go the right way of starting an LLC and getting your ducks in order, you can claim that money back on your business. That's the part where people bring in, you know, the politics part of the business aspect, you know, just knowing you. And again, it's all trial and error. You learn what you can charge for your business, what you can't charge for your business. And again, it's all about making sure that you always from the bottom to the top and staying on top. Staying on top is important.
Yeah, and that's one of the pluses I feel is in technology now. You can always just Google research, go on YouTube and research and learn. And just like trying to figure out your own business plan and what works for you. So that's one of the
Absolutely. And again, all trial and error, long nights of me researching, of myself researching. I'm very thankful that I have business degreed people in my family. My brother's a big influence on me when it comes to financial things and, you know, property and things of that sort. So he was always a phone call away from me to me, but at the same time, it's never enough. Knowledge is never enough in any business you choose to go into. Knowledge is never enough. You can learn from anybody. It always, for me, it manifests from the mind to the heart. Once you think it, you can, and your body naturally starts doing things because you put that, you try, you're feeding yourself, you feed yourself, you manifest for yourself. Your body starts to change for you. So if you are the type of person who gets up every morning and you're not meditating or praying and you're not claiming it over yourself, your body will then, your mind becomes lazy, your body becomes lazy. You set yourself a routine. You set yourself a routine, even as they say, your little business. They say, you know, they love to say, oh, that's your little business. Absolutely. I love when they say your little business. But at the same time, it's fine. I'm like, I started there. I started with, oh, that's your little business. I've heard all kinds of things about myself, but I'm financially in a place and I'm very happy where I am. I'm glad where my businesses are. So at the same time, you have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
You have to have thick skin for this industry. You have to have thick skin for business. You have to be able to, again, train your mind to succeed. Train your mind, set yourself goals. And that's just how it has to work. That's how it has to happen.
Last week I asked Jojo, who I had on last week, about the importance of skincare and makeup.
I don't mean to laugh like that, but so
I mean, because you do come across some people on the social media. I don't have the best skin, but I know how important it is to drink water, to make sure I do my facials, to exfoliate, to moisturize. Your input on that.
So, for me, just to give you a quick background, for me, I was born into, my body was never toxified with any type of meats. My mom and my dad, my parents were 100% vegans. So I never had cow's milk. I never had meat. I never had chicken. Very seldomly did we eat seafood. And my father was Rastafarian, so we stayed away from shellfish. And again, it was just more so lots of fishes. And not all fishes are good for you. So therefore, I never had a palate for like certain things. To this day, I very seldomly do I eat candy. And when I tell you right off the rip, I don't force I have a son, a 12-year-old son. My son doesn't like candy as well. And again, when I learned that, if I didn't have that from my teachings of my parents, my grandparents, I don't think I would have been able to pass that on to my son. Instead of juice, we always have a case of ginger ale in the house just in case tummy aches or whatever. But we drink alkaline water. Alkaline water is a big essential to us in our household here with us. In order for the outside to look good and to feel good, you have to make sure that we're putting the right things into our bodies. I drink lots of water, but again, drinking lots of water and I'm semi-vegan. Every now and then I eat meat sometimes, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to stay skinny either. Okay, so I'll tell people that people are fat too. Okay? Don't get it twisted. We take a lot of carbs. Okay, we take a lot of carbs. But again, practicing healthy relationships habits, with food. With food, with what you hydrate your body with. For me, I've never had that type of skin where I never had a breakout. I didn't have pimples growing up. My siblings and I, we never had pimples. We never had rashes. We didn't have these things because again, I credit my parents and my mom had high blood pressure from as a teenager. My mom had high blood pressure
as a teenager.
Yeah, she had early high blood pressure. We didn't grow up eating salt. I didn't grow up eating salt. I can tell you when the food is properly taken care of, properly seasoned, whereas it's been doused down with adobo and box dry season. So again, you take care of the inside of your body. Everything that does come out of your body is just an outbreak of the toxins that need to leave your body. Exfoliating is a big thing. I use on my skin Vaseline. I'm a Vaseline and cocoa. I use coconut oil, pure coconut oil. I don't switch. I've been, again, this is it. This is it right here. This I tell people all the time, this is it.
Yeah.
And again, I can do that and it works for me. But again, I have oily skin. There's nothing I can do about that. I do not slather my face with Vaseline, but at night, I know that's my moisturizer. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of like take care of your body. Take care of your body. Everything falls into place. When you're wearing makeup, you don't go to sleep with it. Do not fall asleep with makeup on. Make sure that you're removing all of your makeup, because again, makeup off of your face is like a bacteria. Yeah. It gets on your pillow, you will start breaking out. It gets on your clothes. Yeah, it gets on your clothes. It's going to, you will start to have breakouts. So again, you have to have healthy habits, cleaning habits, self-care habits are a big thing. Yes. It's a major thing. So I definitely suggest that when you're removing for me, I tell my clients when they're removing their makeup, use coconut oil. You do not have to use the products that they have with alcohol in it. Alcohol is not, it's not the best things for you. It's very harsh on our skin, whether you have trouble skin, dry skin, or oily skin. Alcohol is not the best thing, but it's in all the products, all the makeup removal products. Yeah. They're also, like I tell I kind of like put it in my children's in their mind that if you can't pronounce it on a food label, it shouldn't go into your body. If you can't pronounce what's on the back of the bottle, it shouldn't go on your face. It shouldn't go onto your face. So again, coconut oil for me, you can remove it. And again, if it's too oily, take another hot rag and wipe it off. You'll be fine. It's not that work.
Yeah, so that's what I found doing, I guess in my latter years now that I'm getting older, doing more research and more natural things, like using more, like doing research, and I use like baking soda to help exfoliate. I found coconut oil is a God-given.
Always been it's always been in my family. My grandmother she would make it. So we've always had coconut oil. It would just sit, sometimes she would put it in a big jar and she would sit it on the stove. And I never understood why she would leave the coconut oil in a jar on the stove. But she was showing me, but as I got older and I started doing it, I said, wait, that makes sense. The reason why you want to leave it in a warm place, which, because the pilots underneath the stove kept it warm and always kept it melted and good for you and ready to put apply to your skin. So definitely baking soda is another, again, these are all natural hidden things that people don't know. I've been using baking soda to brush my teeth since I was a kid.
My grandmother always used baking soda. My grandma, I'm like looking at her like, okay. But growing up, you learn different things, and you started putting it into your routine, and come to find out baking soda is good. I use baking soda in my conditioner to detangle my hair because I have natural hair. I like anything that's good for you, and that anything that's trying to find the most natural way to get the results of all these different chemicals, like you said, that we can't even pronounce, that we put in our body, that we're using on our body, that are not really good for us. And there's like, even when it comes to like some health conditions, there are a lot of natural remedies that will decrease either the symptoms, the effect, but we all just need to, do our research and figure out, according to our body, what can our body take, what can our body not take.
Right. And, if you just think about this, especially for our people, I always say we are a people that we were born of the earth, and we always return back to the earth. So you have to understand that what's on this earth will naturally can cure you. It can, like a lot of people, they sleep on witch hazel. Witch
Yes.
hazel. A lot of people sleep on it. I sometimes go to start. I just take the whole thing. I just pay the whole thing and put it in my
Yeah.
garage, because I'm saying to myself, people don't know witch hazel. They have no idea what witch hazel does. But at the same time, like I said, people who, you know, if we're not gonna educate ourselves on, you know, on what we already have, that's going to make us a better inside, internally and externally, then, you know, we're always going to have to buy it, because guess what? They know that we're not educated. They know that we're not educating ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. And are there any questions? I don't know if we're ready for questions. Do you want to answer some questions? What would you like to?
I'll answer some questions. I love questions.
Okay. Well, Shayla Garcia would like to know, how would you suggest people find foundation that matches, especially during the pandemic, since we can't try on makeup in stores anymore or get the colors to match? So she would like to know what would the best tips be to find foundation?
Okay, so that has definitely been a big, it's been a really big inconvenience for just even myself as an MUA, going into Sephora's, Ulta, these places that, you know, you normally can get a sample of, and they're no longer doing it. But what I do know is that you can actually, a lot of people do not know this, but you can actually contact the makeup company and ask them to send you samples, and they'll send them to you.
Note to self.
They'll actually send you a sample, or you know, say, hey, I am purchasing, in an email, hey, I'm purchasing two shades of a foundation. I would like to try 2 others, but I first need to be, you know, do a color match. Can I have a sample? May I be, you know, can a sample be, you know, given to me? And 100% of the time, they will send you a sample.
Okay. They do. And as far as foundation, like for beginners, as far, what kind of advice would you give them, like as far as finding their undertones?
So undertones is, I go with 3 different places, and it kind of sets a tone for me. So we all know that you check your forearm. Your forearm is a big, it's a big swatching area. And this is how I kind of like set it for myself. I get this is my undertone here, is my forearm. That's what I'm gonna put here. This is what I'm gonna put here and here, because this sets the tone for my chest. Please, ladies, make sure that your neck and your face match, okay? Because I'm looking at like a puppet. I'm like, wow, did she forget her neck? I do it all the time. I'm like, man, she forgot her neck. So make sure that you use your forearm, underneath your forearm, for the setting the tone for your primary. I always call this your primary area. For your T-zone, which is here and here, I kind of like let my clients close their eyes. And whatever their eye vein colors are, that's how I choose. But again, this is how I've come to everyone's different. This is how I come to my highlight areas. This is where I do my matching of the highlights. There's a lot of places that I even look at people's ears. I look behind their ears. I tell people all the time, like, if they're wearing a turtleneck, can I see your chest? Because I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to, you know, my worst fear is sending someone out looking like they're surprised. Like, hello. That's my worst fear.
Any more questions for anybody that's viewing? And while we're waiting on questions, as far as makeup, you told us about one makeup artist that's from Boston that you sort of looked as a mentor. Do you have any other mentors in the makeup industry, or?
Absolutely. So there is another young lady that I followed early in her career, and she is now the head makeup artist for Now it's at the tip of my tongue, and now I can't. Tamron Hall. She does Tamron Hall's makeup. She does her. She's head of her makeup on her daily show. As everyone knows, Tamron has a show.
Yeah.
Her name is Tennille Vieira, and that's Veira, and her first name is Tennille, and that's Tennelle. She doesn't so much do anything more so on the social media platform as she used to, but when she used to be on, she was definitely a driving force for me to watch and to learn from. Like I said, my second person that I watched a lot was Poppy MUA. There's another young lady that I watch on, she's on Facebook, but I just think she has a lot going on. So I kind of like stopped watching her. I'm very big on people mixing business and personal. So once they start getting a little bit too personal, I kind of like, become I know for some people they kind of like, that's the bonding for them. Yeah. But to me, I'd be like, all right, well, stick to the business. That's just me. That's just the mindset that I have. But her name is Bree Taylor. She's on Facebook as well. Bree Taylor, BRI. Who else do I look at? No one else really. I just kind of like, again, it's like a channel for me. Once I get on the explore page, and once I get on my explore page of IG and I press one makeup video, I can go through 20 of them and just watch different artists.
Yeah.
So, like I said, locally for me, it was Poppy MUA. Second locally, she's from Brooklyn, New York. And again, I lived in Brooklyn for quite some time. So I followed her, and her name is Tennille Vieira. So to me, those are my two success stories.
Okay.
You froze on your end.
Hello?
You froze on your end.
Oh, yeah, you froze. Oh, there you go. You're back. So I'm like, oh. And where do you see yourself in the future as far as your brand?
So in the future, I definitely see myself full-time with my makeup. Makeup and other businesses. Like I said, I'm a woman of, I always believe that, you need to have several sources of income to be, I don't have the luxury. I want the luxury of being rich, but I want the luxury of being comfortable, and I want the luxury of my family and my peers to succeed. So it could possibly be where in 5 years I am full-time consulting and allowing my businesses to do the generational work for itself, and just promoting it and marketing, and to just actually become full-time in all my businesses, managing all my businesses. That's where I see myself in 5 years. Getting more products for you guys, more lip stains, more lashes. I'm thinking of actually, I'm actually in the works talking about doing just a full-time spa. So.
Oh, that'll be great.
And we don't actually have one here.
We don't.
So no, not in our area. So I'm kind of, that's.
And as far as the spa, you mean like from head to toe spa, boutique outfits, just all in one?
So it'll definitely be like an all-in-one. And that's because honestly, a lot of cities are doing it already, and it's just not here. It's just not here, and that's fine, because it's okay. And I always tell people, even if you're the first, you can be the second, you can be the third, and it's all right if you're the fifth and sixth. You can do it. In Atlanta, I've noticed when I visit Atlanta, you can go into a one-stop shop, and it's like, they turned the whole warehouse into a complete, from brows to lashes to shoes to clothing to a barbershop to a tattoo parlor. It's all confided in one area, and it's like, it's amazing. It's amazing. People are going there. So, and it's all our people are doing it. We can do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
So that's
and
something that I think about.
Because when you think of you getting ready for a special event, your mind is all boggled down by I have to go here to do my hair, I have to drop this person off there, and it gets to be a little hectic. So having one stop, I think that's something that will generate a lot of money back into our community.
Absolutely. And I'm big on community. I'm big on where everyone says, you know, you get paid and you take your money elsewhere. For me, honestly, it's important for me. It's important for my son to see where we can be, what we can do as a community. Even if we don't have something, us collectively coming together, and I'd rather him see the elevation of us, whereas somebody else coming in and building on our backs. No, we can do it. Yeah. We can do it. We just all have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. Honestly.
Yep, definitely.
Chari, so, I must say your makeup is flawless, girl.
Thank you. I'll try. Yes. I'll try. I appreciate it.
I love it.
Like I said, well, a little bit about me. I got into makeup a little over 10 years ago. 11 years ago. After I lost my mom, I found myself in a dark place. So, you know, that's when I started watching a couple of people that I have on YouTube who were getting into the makeup game back then. You know, when we had the little thin eyebrows, and this is before, almost way before like where we're at now, where this primer, you know, there was very little back then, but I started getting into it. And really, I would say because of my personality, the person that I am, I love wearing color. And I think like that helps me out. Like even like if it's on a rainy day, I would wear a fluorescent sweater to work and just be bright. So I'm that kind of person. So I think this is a way for me to sort of like just express myself, you know.
Absolutely. For me as well, you know, me being of my tone, my skin color tone, a lot of people never expected a lot of things from me. It was like my friends, they knew me, you know, they know me, they know that I'm never wearing all black unless you mandate it. You know, it has to be Nikki, you have to wear all black. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, like, why do I have to wear all black? But I've always been a very splashful person. And again, I love it. I love it. I love looking at you. I'm like, I love her hair. I love her makeup. I love her eyebrows. I love her earrings. I'm like, that's a whole outfit I would wear. Everything. I just took my hair down. So, and again, you have to be.
I see, well, we're matching.
Yeah, we are matching. I got blue in the back though. You got blue on. But I tell people all the time, you know, you have to, you know, everyone always says, well, how did you get into it and why do you like it? And I said, it's an expression of myself. It's an expression of what my passion is. If I could never become an animation drawing staff member for an animation company, I will feel more than comfortable becoming a makeup artist. And again, knowing that I feel comfortable in my craft is what's important to me.
Yes,
absolutely.
It comes from being an extension of you as a person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're winding down to the last 5 minutes. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm looking forward to. I know. I'm looking forward to doing further business with you and staying in contact with you.
Absolutely. So, if I can, well, I don't know if so I do have a makeup group. So that's another thing too. Everyone's like, oh, you should just charge to do. I'm like, listen. Honestly, like I said, the market's already full, but there's always room for people. And I teach. During the pandemic, I was doing I did tutorials on eyebrows, lash application, because people just don't know. They just don't know either. And then now they're getting it, and they're like, you know, they text me, Nikki, see, I did it, Malika, I did it. And I'm like, there you go. So if anyone is interested in I do makeup reviews on products and stuff like that. If anyone's ever interested in that, they can go to request to be in the group Majestic Glam, and that's Majestic with a K. So that's Majestik,
Okay.
Glam as a second word.
And it's on Facebook?
Mm-hmm. On Facebook, yes. And for the rest of my handles,
okay.
On my IG is Majestic Mink. And again, all the Majestics are with the K instead of a C. And then you have Crown Boutique.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Majestic Cleaning Services. So Majestic Cleaning Services is the only business that I have with the C. So that's Majestic Cleaning Services.
Okay. I'm looking forward to ordering some lashes because I love lashes. So.
Absolutely. I just did a big sale, but you know, there's always room for more. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I love lashes. You don't even know. I spend hours. I spend hours with my vendors because they know what I love. They know what I like. They know what I love. I'm never going to put a product on my line that I would not wear myself. I'm not going to get something that's going to be disposable. And that's, you know, the purpose for me is durable. It has to go through the drive with me. If I want to wear them 30 times, I want to wear them 30 times. And I'm going to spend my money to wear them. So I'm always going to make sure that I'm able to give you guys product.
I'm waiting. I'm about to put in my order as soon as we get off this live. I'm about to put in my order.
Oh, you better get to it because I can see already what you like.
Oh, okay. Well, it was nice having you, Malika. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing Dutches. These are Dutches.
Oh, I love those. Okay, I'm gonna order me a pair of Dutches and make sure when I do my look, I'll make sure I link you.
Absolutely.
Well, it was nice having you. Like again, I said, I'm looking forward to doing more business with you and creating a connection with you.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go order my lashes now. That way I can just.
Absolutely.
I'll be in contact with you to do more interviews because you're a very pleasant person. I love your positive energy. I love your positive energy.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you all reaching out to me and doing this interview. This is another outlet of, you know, getting out there because I'm very kind of like, if you know me, you know me. But then it's like, I'm fine with like being away, like out the scene. But again, like I said, this was a great opportunity for me to, this is a great opportunity for me locally, nationally, universal. And I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to, you know, put myself out there and to let the people know.
I appreciate you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Have a blessed night, everyone. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye, darling.